Keep going when nobody claps. You have probably felt it before. That strange silence after you put your real heart into something. You shared a dream, showed a small win, or tried a new step and nobody made a sound. No claps, no likes, no comments, and no one saying good job. That quiet moment can feel louder than any insult ever could. It makes you question if your work even matters at all. It whispers that maybe you should just stop and sit down. But this book is here to tell you that the silence is not a stop sign. It is actually an invitation to build something stronger than applause. This book is for the person who keeps showing up to an empty room. It is for the writer, the builder, the learner, and the quiet fighter. You will learn how to turn loneliness into fuel and doubt into daily action. You will discover that the best claps come from inside your own chest first. Every chapter ahead will give you a simple tool to keep moving forward. No fancy words, no impossible steps, just honest help for hard days. So take a breath and get ready. Your quiet journey to unstoppable strength starts right here. Chapter 1. Your first silent step. The first step of any journey feels light and heavy at the same time. You have the idea, the hope, and the tiny flame inside your chest. But then you look around and see no one watching what you do. That empty feeling can freeze your feet right where you stand. You start to wonder if your step is too small or too silly. You ask yourself why anyone would care about your little beginning. Most people stop right here before they even begin moving at all. But the secret is that every big tree started as a seed, no one noticed. Taking a silent step means accepting that zero claps is a normal start. The greatest creators, athletes, and builders all began in complete darkness. No camera crews filmed their first terrible attempts at anything new. No crowd cheered when they failed for the 10th time on a Tuesday morning. They simply moved 1 inch forward because they decided to move. That decision is more powerful than 1,000 slow claps from strangers. You do not need permission to take your first tiny action today. Your own 2 feet are the only approval you will ever need. Fear loves to dress up as logic when you try something new. It will say wait until you are ready or study more before you start. But readiness is a ghost that never shows up in real life. You become ready by doing, not by thinking about doing for months. The silent step shatters that fear because action is louder than worry. When you move, your brain stops spinning and starts solving real problems. You trade the heavy weight of what if for the light feeling of I did. That feeling is better than any applause from a crowd that was not there. Start so small that failure feels impossible to hurt you. Write 1 sentence instead of a whole book chapter today. Run for 60 seconds instead of 1 full mile this morning. Draw a single line instead of promising a perfect painting right now. These tiny moves look silly to people who never start anything at all, but small steps build trust between you and your future self. Each little win whispers, "See, you can do this," into your ear. Over time, those whispers become a roar that no empty room can silence. The silent step also teaches you to separate action from attention. Many people only do things that guarantee a round of claps afterward. They post only the perfect photos and share only the finished wins. But you are learning to move because the movement itself feels good. You are learning to build because building makes you come alive inside. This shift in thinking changes everything about how you will work. Applause becomes a nice bonus instead of the main reason you try. Your happiness no longer depends on strangers clapping their hands together. That freedom is worth more than standing ovations from 1,000,000 people. So here is your first mission from this book today. Pick 1 tiny thing you have been putting off for weeks. It could be opening a document, buying a simple tool, or writing 1 email. Do not tell anyone you are going to do this small action. Do not post about it or wait for the right time to arrive. Just stand up and take that 1 silent step within the next hour. When you finish, put a hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat. That heartbeat is the only clap that has ever truly mattered. Congratulations! You have already begun the journey of the unstoppable. Chapter 2. Killing the waiting for a round of applause virus. There is a quiet sickness that spreads through creative people without them knowing. It starts when you post a photo and check your phone every few minutes. It grows when you finish a project but feel empty without likes and comments. This virus makes you believe that your work has no value unless others praise it. You start to shape your dreams around what might get the biggest reaction. You avoid anything too weird, too personal, or too hard to explain quickly. Slowly, you stop making what you love and start making what you think will clap. This is a dangerous trap that kills more dreams than failure ever could. The first cure is admitting that you have chased applause before. Everyone has done this, so do not feel ashamed about your honest feelings. You wanted to feel seen, valued, and important to the people around you. That is a normal human need, not a terrible weakness in your character. But the problem comes when applause becomes the only reason you wake up early. You must ask yourself a hard question right now without looking away. If no one ever praised your work again, would you still do it? Your honest answer will show you how deep this virus has spread inside you. Social media has made this virus much stronger than it was 20 years ago. You now get instant feedback every time you share a piece of yourself online. A number goes up, a heart turns red, or a comment pops up fast. Your brain starts to treat these tiny signals like food and water. You feel hunger for more claps and thirst for more attention constantly. This cycle is designed by smart people to keep you scrolling and posting. But you can break the cycle by changing what you measure in your life. Stop counting likes and start counting how many days you showed up bravely. One powerful trick is to create a no-share rule for your next 3 small wins. Finish a drawing but put it in a drawer instead of posting it online. Complete a workout but tell no one about your sweat or effort today. Write a poem and read it only to your own reflection in the mirror. This practice retrains your brain to enjoy the work itself again. You remember that making things feels good even when nobody sees them. You reconnect with the child who drew pictures just for the joy of colors. That child did not wait for claps, and neither should you anymore. Keep this practice going and watch the applause virus slowly starve to death. Another cure is to become your own loudest and most honest fan. When you finish a task, literally clap your hands together 3 times. Say out loud, "Good job, me," even if it feels strange at first. Your brain believes what you tell it more than what strangers do. You can rewire your need for approval by giving it to yourself daily. Write down one win each night before you go to sleep quietly. That win could be as small as getting out of bed on time today. Over weeks, your internal voice becomes stronger than any outside crowd. You will start to feel proud before anyone else has a chance to react. The final step is to realize that applause is often fake and temporary anyway. People clap for many reasons that have nothing to do with your talent. They clap because they are being polite, following others, or feeling bored. They forget your performance 5 minutes after they walk out the door. But you have to live with your effort and your choices every single day. So kill the virus by deciding that your own respect matters more. You will keep going not because a crowd demands it from you. You will keep going because you made a promise to yourself that you intend to keep. Chapter 3: The Mirror Test. Look into a mirror right now and notice what your eyes say back to you. Do you see someone who keeps promises to themselves or someone who quits early? The mirror never lies, and it never gives fake applause to make you feel better. It shows you the truth about whether you respect your own effort lately. This is called the mirror test, and it is brutally honest every single time. You cannot hide from your own reflection or trick it with fancy words. Your eyes know if you gave up too soon or avoided something important today. Learning to pass this test is the secret to becoming truly unstoppable. The mirror test works because you are the hardest judge you will ever face. Other people might forgive your laziness or make excuses for your delays. Friends will say, "It is okay, you can try again tomorrow," with soft voices. But the person staring back from the glass knows exactly what you are capable of. That person remembers every time you chose comfort over courage this week. That person feels the disappointment when you close a laptop without finishing the task. Passing the test does not mean being perfect or never failing at all. It means looking yourself in the eye and knowing you gave a real effort today. Start each morning by asking your reflection 3 simple questions before anything else. First, what is the one thing I promise to do for myself today? Second, what is the smallest way I can move toward my dream right now? Third, will I respect myself tonight if I avoid this task completely? These 3 questions take less than 60 seconds to ask out loud, but they set a powerful tone for every decision you will make for hours. Your reflection becomes a coach instead of just a face you wash quickly. You begin each day with honesty instead of pretending that tomorrow will be different. This small habit changes everything about how you show up for your own life. At night, the mirror test returns to ask how you actually did today. You cannot lie to yourself about whether you finished what you started this morning. Your eyes will widen or soften based on the truth of your actions. If you kept your promise, look yourself in the eye and nod once firmly. That nod is your private ceremony of respect that no one else sees. If you broke your promise, do not look away in shame or anger. Instead, whisper, "I will do better tomorrow," and mean it with your whole heart. The test is not about punishment, but about honest connection with your own spirit. One mistake people make is comparing their mirror reflection to someone else's life. You might think, they are further ahead, so I must be failing badly. But the mirror test is only about you versus the you from yesterday. Did you move 1 inch closer to your goal compared to last week? Did you show up even when you felt tired, scared, or completely uninspired? That is the only comparison that will ever help you grow stronger over time. Stop measuring your insides by someone else's outsides that look perfect. Their mirror shows struggles and doubts that they never post on social media. Focus only on being a little better than the person you were yesterday morning. When you pass the mirror test for 30 days in a row, something magical happens inside. You start to trust yourself more than you trust anyone else's opinion about you. The need for outside applause drops because your internal respect feels so good. You become someone who keeps promises, and that identity spreads into every action. Your feet move faster toward your goals because quitting is no longer an option. The mirror becomes a friend who celebrates your quiet consistency every evening. You realize that the best claps come from your own 2 hands hitting together. Pass the test today, and watch how unstoppable your tomorrow becomes very soon. Chapter 4: How to Dance in an Empty Room. Imagine you put on your favorite song when no one else is home at all. You start moving your body however it wants to move without any rules. There is no one watching to judge your rhythm or your silly dance moves. You spin, jump, and wave your arms because the feeling inside is pure joy. That is what dancing in an empty room feels like every single time. Now imagine bringing that same feeling to your work and your daily efforts. You do the work because the work itself feels alive and good to do. This is the secret to thriving when nobody is clapping for your progress yet. Most people only feel motivated when someone else is watching them perform. They clean their house only when guests are coming over to visit soon. They work harder at the gym when a friend is waiting by the entrance door. But empty room dancers have learned a different and better way to live. They find joy in the act itself, not in the reaction from other people. They write pages because putting words together feels like solving a fun puzzle. They practice guitar because the sound of strings makes their chest feel warm. This internal joy is a fuel that never runs out like outside praise does. To learn this skill, start by finding one activity that you already love doing alone. It could be cooking, drawing, running, organizing, or even folding laundry neatly. Do that activity today with zero intention of showing it to anyone else at all. Notice how your body feels as you move through the steps of the process. Does your breathing become slower and deeper than it was before you started? Does your mind stop racing and finally feel quiet and focused on one thing? That peaceful feeling is the reward that empty room dancers chase every single day. The finished product becomes just a nice bonus instead of the whole point of trying. One practical trick is to narrate your own progress out loud like a sports announcer. Say, and she opens the notebook, "Wow, what a brave first move today." Say, he writes the third sentence, "Look at that focus and determination right there." This sounds silly at first, but your brain takes itself more seriously than you think. When you hear your own voice celebrating small wins, you start to believe them. You become the audience that you wished would show up for your efforts. The empty room fills with the sound of your own supportive and kind words. You realize you never needed a crowd because you can cheer for yourself loudly. This skill will save you on the hardest days when no one else shows up. Another method is to create small rituals that mark the end of your work sessions. Light a candle when you finish writing for 30 minutes without stopping once. Play a specific 3-second sound on your phone as a victory ringtone for yourself. Do 5 jumping jacks and shout, "Yes," to celebrate finishing a difficult task today. These tiny ceremonies teach your brain that completion feels good even without claps. You are building a reward system that works indoors, outdoors, and completely alone. Over time, your motivation becomes automatic because your brain wants that good feeling. You stop waiting for outside approval because your own rituals feel satisfying enough. This is how you become a person who works hard even in total silence. The beautiful truth is that empty room practice makes you better for real audiences later. When you finally step onto a stage, you have already performed hundreds of times alone. The pressure feels smaller because you know you can do the work without anyone watching. You are not desperate for claps because you have already clapped for yourself enough. Your skills are sharper because you practiced on lonely days when others quit. Your confidence is real because it came from action, not from compliments from friends. So learn to dance in your empty room with joy and total freedom today. The claps will come later, but by then you will not even need them anymore. Chapter 5. When your friends ask, still doing that. There comes a painful moment in every long journey that nobody warns you about. You are working hard on your dream for months, maybe even a year by now. Then you meet a friend for coffee, and they ask a simple question with raised eyebrows. They say, "Oh, you are still doing that thing," as if something is wrong with you. Their tone suggests that you should have quit or succeeded already by now. That question can sting like a small knife sliding right into your chest. You feel judged, misunderstood, and suddenly very alone in your quiet effort. This chapter will teach you how to handle that moment without losing your fire. First, understand that most people do not understand long-term work without applause. They are used to quick results, fast likes, and instant feedback from the world. If something takes years, they assume it must not be working at all. Their question says more about their fear than it says about your progress. They are afraid of looking foolish, so they want you to stop looking foolish too. But you are not foolish for trying something hard that takes a very long time. You are brave for continuing when everyone else would have walked away quietly. Remember this truth when their words try to shake your steady ground. Your answer to that painful question matters less than your internal reaction to it. You do not owe anyone a long defense of your dream or your daily work. A simple "yes, I am still at it, and I love it" is enough to say. You do not need to explain timelines, results, or prove that you are almost there. Their doubt is not your problem to solve or fix with fancy presentations. You can smile, take a sip of your drink, and change the subject completely. The less energy you give to defending, the more energy you keep for building. Silence their doubt by staying calm and confident in your own direction. One helpful trick is to prepare 3 short answers ahead of time for these moments. Answer 1 could be, "Yep, still going and it keeps getting more interesting." Answer 2 could be, "Slow progress is still progress, so I am happy where I am." Answer 3 could be, "I will let you know when there is news, thanks for asking." These answers are polite, honest, and do not invite further questioning or debate. You are not being rude, but you are also not opening a door for their doubt. Keep your answers short, and most people will drop the subject very fast. You protect your energy while still being kind to the person who asked. This skill saves you from hours of explaining yourself to people who will not understand. Sometimes the person asking is actually trying to help in their own strange way. They might worry that you are wasting time on a dream that will not work out. They might have seen other people fail and do not want that for you. You can appreciate their care without accepting their fear as your own truth. Say, "I know you care about me, and that means a lot to my heart." Then add, "But this dream is mine to chase, and I am not ready to stop. This response validates their feelings while holding your ground very firmly. Good friends will respect this answer and stop asking the painful question again. The hardest version of this question comes from family members you love deeply. Their doubt can feel heavier because you want their approval more than anyone else. But even loving families cannot always see the vision that lives inside your chest. You must learn to separate their love for you from their understanding of your path. They can love you completely and still not see why you keep going each day. That is okay, and you do not need to change their mind at all. Keep showing up, keep working quietly, and let your results speak for themselves later. One day they will say, "I am so proud of you for never quitting back then." That day will taste sweeter because you kept going when nobody clapped for you. Chapter 6: The One-Fan Rule. Imagine you are playing a game in a huge stadium with 50,000 empty seats. There is only one person sitting in the front row watching your every move. That one person believes in you completely and never leaves their seat at all. They cheer your small wins and stay quiet but present during your losses. Now imagine that one person is actually you sitting inside your own mind. This is the one-fan rule, and it changes everything about how you work. You do not need a crowd, a team, or millions of followers on social media. You just need to become your own loudest, kindest, and most loyal fan today. Most people treat themselves like their own worst enemy instead of their best fan. They say cruel things to themselves that they would never say to a friend. "You are so stupid for trying this," or "Look, you failed again like always." This inner bully steals motivation faster than any outside critic ever could. You would never hire a coach who spoke to you with that much cruelty daily. So why do you let your own inner voice treat you worse than a stranger would? The one-fan rule asks you to flip that voice completely upside down today. You will become the fan who says, "You got this," even on the hardest days. Becoming your own fan starts with changing just 3 sentences you say to yourself. When you wake up, say, "Today I get to try again, and that is a gift." When you hit a problem, say, "This is hard, but I have solved hard things before." When you finish a task, say, "Good job, I knew you could do that small step today." These sentences feel fake at first because you are not used to being kind. But your brain believes repetition more than it believes the truth of words. Say these 3 sentences every single day for 2 weeks without missing once. You will notice your inner voice slowly changing from bully to best friend. That change is the foundation of becoming unstoppable when nobody else claps. The one-fan rule also means you stop waiting for outside permission to feel proud. You do not need a trophy, a certificate, or a boss to say, "Well done." You can feel proud right now for getting out of bed on a sad morning. You can feel proud for writing one paragraph when your mind felt completely empty. You can feel proud for making a phone call that scared you for 3 hours. Pride is not something you earn from others. It is something you choose to feel. Choose to feel proud of your small wins before anyone else notices them at all. This habit builds a deep well of motivation that never runs dry on you. One practical exercise is to write a fan letter from you to you this evening. Start with, "Dear me, here is what I love about how you showed up today." List 3 specific things you did that took courage. Even tiny courage counts here. Then sign it, "Your biggest fan," and read it out loud to yourself slowly. This feels strange and silly, but strange and silly things often work best. Your brain pays attention when you do something different from your normal routine. The letter becomes a physical proof that you are on your own team completely. Keep these letters in a box and read them on days when you feel low. Your past self will become a fan cheering for your present self to keep going. The beautiful secret is that being your own fan makes outside fans show up later. People are drawn to those who radiate quiet confidence and self-belief naturally. When you stop begging for claps, you become more attractive to genuine supporters. Your work improves because you are not chasing trends or faking your style. Your energy feels good because you are not desperate for validation from strangers. The right people will notice your steady flame and want to stand near it. But even if they never come, you still have the only fan you ever needed. You have you, and you are enough to keep going until the very end. Chapter 7. Tiny Sparks versus Big Bangs. The world loves to celebrate sudden success stories that seem to happen overnight. You see headlines like, "She became famous in 1 week," or "He sold his company fast." These stories make you feel like your slow progress must be a terrible failure. But here is the truth that those headlines never tell you at all. Behind every big bang was years of tiny sparks that no one ever saw. Those sparks were small, boring, and looked like nothing special happening daily. Yet those tiny sparks built the fire that finally exploded into a big bang. Learning to love your own tiny sparks will set you free from feeling behind. A tiny spark is any small action that moves you forward by just 1 inch. Writing 50 words instead of 0 words is a spark that matters today. Running for 2 minutes instead of staying on the couch is a real spark. Sending 1 email instead of avoiding your inbox completely is a brave spark. These actions feel too small to count, so most people skip them entirely. But skipping sparks means your fire never gets any fuel to grow bigger. Over a full year, daily sparks add up to more than occasional big bangs. The math is simple, but the patience required is what separates winners from quitters. Your brain is designed to crave big bangs because they feel exciting and fun. A huge success gives you a rush of happy chemicals that feels amazing. But big bangs are rare, unpredictable, and mostly out of your direct control. You cannot force a viral post, a lucky break, or a sudden miracle today. But you can absolutely control whether you create one tiny spark right now. You can control whether you open the book, tie the shoes, or pick up the pen. This shift in focus from big bangs to tiny sparks is incredibly powerful. You stop waiting for luck and start building your own fire from scratch daily. One way to stay motivated is to track your sparks instead of your results. Buy a simple calendar and put a red X on every day you create a spark. Do not judge whether the spark was big enough or perfect in any way. Just mark the X if you did one small thing toward your dream that day. After 1 week, you will see a chain of excess that proves you are showing up. After 1 month, that chain will look like real evidence of your commitment. Your brain loves to see patterns, and this pattern says, "I am a person who acts." This visual proof will keep you going when motivation runs low on hard days. Another trick is to rename your failures as sparks that simply did not ignite yet. You tried something and it did not work the way you hoped it would. That is not a failure. It is a spark that taught you one new piece of information. You learned what does not work, which brings you closer to what does work. Thomas Edison famously said he found 10,000 ways that did not work. Those were not failures. They were sparks that lit the path to his big bang. Change your language from "I failed" to "I gathered data from a spark." This small shift keeps you curious instead of crushed when things go wrong. The final truth is that tiny sparks are actually the secret to enjoying your journey. Big bangs last for a moment, and then you need another big bang soon. But sparks give you the quiet joy of showing up and doing the work daily. You stop living for the finish line and start loving the path you walk. You find meaning in the small act of trying, not just in winning big. This mindset makes you immune to empty rooms and silent crowds forever. You will keep going because each spark feels good to create by itself. So forget the big bang for now and focus on your next tiny spark today. Chapter 8. Making a promise to your future self. Close your eyes and imagine yourself exactly 5 years from this very day. That person has your name, your memories, and your deepest hopes for a good life. That person is either proud of you or disappointed in you based on your choices. You cannot see their face clearly, but you can feel their emotion strongly. This is your future self, and they are watching everything you do right now. They cannot travel back to help you, but they can feel your actions today. Making a promise to this future version of you changes how you act. You stop living for today only and start building for someone you truly love. Your future self is not a stranger. They are you with more experiences and wisdom. They will wake up every day in the life that your current choices create slowly. If you quit now, they will feel the weight of that quit forever. If you keep going, they will feel grateful for every hard day you endured. This is not magic or fantasy. It is a practical way to trick your lazy brain. Your brain cares more about future you than about abstract ideas of success. When you frame choices as promises to a real person, your motivation changes completely. You would not break a promise to a friend, so do not break this one either. Start by writing a short letter from your future self to your current self today. Date the letter 5 years from now and write it in a kind voice. Say, "Thank you for not quitting on that Tuesday when everything felt impossible." Say, "I am living a good life because you kept showing up back then." List 3 specific things your future self enjoys because you worked hard now. Read this letter every morning for 1 week without skipping a single day. Your brain will start to treat future you as a real person who matters. This simple exercise has helped thousands of people push through their hardest moments. You are not alone, and this trick works if you actually try it. One powerful question to ask yourself is, what would future me beg me to do? When you feel like watching TV instead of working, ask that question now. Future you would beg you to write just 1 page before you rest tonight. When you feel like quitting your dream forever, ask that question out loud. Future you would beg you to take 1 small step instead of walking away. This question cuts through excuses and lazy thinking faster than anything else. It connects your present action to a real person who will feel the results. You start to see laziness as betrayal and effort as an act of love. That shift in thinking will carry you through the longest and darkest nights. Another method is to create a visual reminder of your future self somewhere you look daily. Tape a photo of an older, happy person on your mirror or computer screen. That photo represents the version of you who never gave up on their dream. When you feel tired, look at that photo and say, "I am doing this for you." This sounds simple, but simple things work better than complicated plans always. Your brain needs reminders because it forgets important promises when you are tired. The visual cue brings future you into the room where decisions are made today. You stop acting like a child who only wants pleasure right this second. You start acting like an adult who builds a life worth living for years. The beautiful reward is that you will wake up one day as that future self. You will look back at all the hard days when nobody clapped for you. You will feel a deep warmth in your chest because you kept your promise completely. You will say, "Thank you, past me, for being so stubborn and brave back then." That moment of gratitude is better than any applause from a crowd of strangers. You will realize that the person who needed to clap for you was always you. So make the promise today, write it down, and put it somewhere safe right now. Your future self is waiting to thank you, but only if you keep going first. Chapter 9. The 5-Minute Comeback. There will be days when you want to quit so badly that it hurts to breathe. Your energy is gone, your hope feels empty, and your dream seems like a silly joke. On those days, big plans and long to-do lists will only make you feel worse. You cannot think about working for an hour or even 30 minutes right now. But here is the secret that saves people who eventually become successful at everything. You can do anything for just 5 minutes, even on your very worst day. 5 minutes is so short that your lazy brain cannot argue against it. This is the 5-minute comeback, and it has saved my dreams many times. The rule is simple and has only 3 steps that anyone can follow today. First, set a timer on your phone for exactly 5 minutes, no more and no less. Second, do the smallest possible version of your task during those 5 minutes only. Third, when the timer rings, you have full permission to stop completely and walk away. That is it. No hidden tricks, no motivational speeches, and no pressure at all. Most of the time, you will keep going after the 5 minutes end naturally. But even if you stop, you still moved forward instead of staying stuck completely. 5 minutes of action beats 0 minutes of action every single day of the week. This is not an opinion. It is a mathematical fact that cannot be argued with. Why does this trick work so well on your unmotivated and tired brain? Your brain hates starting things because starting feels scary and uncertain to it. But your brain does not hate continuing once it has already begun moving forward. The 5-minute comeback tricks your brain by making the start feel tiny. 5 minutes is too small to trigger fear, so your brain says, fine, go ahead. Once you start, momentum takes over, and continuing feels easier than stopping. This is called the Zeigarnik effect, but you do not need to remember that name. Just remember that starting is hard, but continuing is easy once you begin moving. Use this trick every time you feel stuck and watch what happens next. You can apply the 5-minute comeback to any area of your life right now. Feel too tired to exercise? Do 5 minutes of stretching or walking in your living room. Feel too blocked to write? Type 5 minutes of garbage sentences that you will fix later. Feel too scared to make a phone call? Spend 5 minutes writing a short script for the call first. The task does not matter because the principle works on everything equally well. Your only job is to show up for 5 minutes without judging yourself at all. Let go of perfect, let go of results, and just let yourself exist in action. 5 minutes of messy effort is infinitely better than 0 minutes of perfect planning. One advanced trick is to chain multiple 5-minute comebacks across your entire day. Work for 5 minutes, then rest for 5 minutes without any guilt or shame. Then work for another 5 minutes, then rest again for 5 more minutes. This pattern can continue for hours without burning out your tired brain completely. You end up with 30 minutes of work spread across 1 hour of time. That is 30 more minutes than you would have done by quitting entirely today. Over a full week, those minutes add up to real progress that you can feel. You are not superhuman. You are just smarter about how you use low energy. This is how steady people finish marathons while sprinters collapse after 1 mile. The deepest truth about the 5-minute comeback is that it rebuilds your identity slowly. Every time you do 5 minutes instead of 0, you prove something to yourself. You prove that you are the type of person who shows up even on hard days. You prove that excuses do not own you, even when they knock on your door loudly. Over time, this identity becomes stronger than any single moment of motivation. You stop needing to feel inspired because showing up is just who you are now. The 5-minute comeback turns you from a quitter into a finisher, one tiny step at a time. So the next time you want to quit, just ask yourself, can I do 5 minutes? The answer is almost always yes, so get started right now. Chapter 10. Clapping Back with Action. Sometimes the silence from others can feel like a personal attack on your spirit. You worked hard, you shared your work, and nobody made a single sound in return. That silence can turn into anger, bitterness, or a loud voice saying, why even bother? You might want to post an angry message or quit dramatically to prove a point. But there is a better way to respond that will shock everyone who doubted you. Instead of complaining about the silence, you clap back with action that speaks loudly. Action is the only language that lazy critics and silent crowds truly understand. This chapter will teach you how to turn frustration into your greatest fuel ever. Clapping back with action means you stop explaining and start showing results instead. You do not write a long post about how hard you work every single day. You do not argue with people who say your dream is a waste of their time. You simply close your mouth, open your laptop, and create something better than before. The silence becomes a gift because it removes the pressure of performing for others. You can experiment, fail, and grow without anyone watching your awkward early steps. When you finally emerge with something amazing, the silence will turn into shock. And that shock is 1,000 times sweeter than any pity applause you could beg for. One powerful way to clap back is to set a silence challenge for yourself this month. For 30 days, do not post, share, or tell anyone about your progress at all. Work in complete darkness like a miner digging for gold underground. Track your daily actions on a private document that only you will ever see. At the end of 30 days, look back at what you built without any feedback. You will likely be shocked by how much more you created without distractions. The silence freed up hours that you used to spend checking for likes and comments. This experiment will change your relationship with applause forever in the best way. Another method is to use the silence as a sign that you are onto something new. Truly original ideas almost never receive instant applause from any crowd. If everyone clapped right away, your idea would be too common and boring to matter. The silence means you are ahead of the curve, not behind it at all. Think of yourself as a scout walking through a forest that nobody has seen. Of course, there is no crowd there yet because you are the first person to arrive. Your job is not to beg people to follow you into the unknown woods. Your job is to walk forward bravely and build a path that others will use later. When you feel anger rising from the silence, write a letter you will never send. Write down every frustrated word that your heart wants to scream at the empty room. Say, "You will see, I'm not someone you can ignore forever like this." Get all the anger out of your system and onto the paper completely. Then tear up the letter, throw it away, and get back to your work quietly. The anger has served its purpose by waking you up from feeling too comfortable. Now you must transform that heat into steady action that lasts for months. Anger is a terrible fuel for a marathon, but a great match to light the first fire. The ultimate clapback is to become so good that silence is no longer possible later. Keep improving your craft, your skill, and your ability to solve real problems. One day, the same people who ignored you will ask for your help or advice. They will not remember that they never clapped for you in the beginning at all. You can choose to feel bitter about that or choose to feel proud of your journey. The best revenge is a life so well lived that you forget who doubted you. Your action becomes your voice, and your results become your loudest applause ever. So stop waiting for their claps and start earning your own respect through action today. Clap back with your work, and let the silence eat itself alive slowly. Chapter 11. Finding Your Secret Rhythm. Every person on Earth has a natural rhythm that fits their unique energy and life. Some people wake up early and do their best work before the sun rises. Other people come alive at midnight when the whole world is finally quiet and still. Some people work best in short sprints of 20 minutes with breaks in between. Other people need 3 hours of deep focus without anyone interrupting their flow at all. There is no wrong rhythm, only the wrong rhythm for your specific personality and life. Finding your secret rhythm is like finding a key that unlocks endless motivation forever. You stop fighting against your nature and start flowing with who you really are. This chapter will help you discover the pace that makes work feel like play. Most people try to copy the rhythm of successful people they see online or in books. They hear that a famous writer wakes up at 4 a.m., so they try that too. They hear that a CEO works 7 days a week, so they feel guilty for resting. But copying someone else's rhythm is like wearing shoes that do not fit your feet. You will walk, but every step will hurt, and you will want to stop soon. Your rhythm is as unique as your fingerprint, and you must discover it yourself. The only way to find it is to experiment with different schedules and notice how you feel. Pay attention to when your mind feels sharp and when your energy feels completely gone. Start a simple 2-week experiment to track your energy levels every few hours. Buy a small notebook and write down how you feel at 9 a.m., 12 p.m., and 3 p.m. Rate your focus from 1 to 10 and also rate your happiness from 1 to 10. Also write down what you ate when you slept and any stress you felt that day. After 2 weeks, look for patterns that repeat themselves across many different days. You might discover that you focus best 2 hours after eating a light breakfast. You might find that your energy crashes every day at 2 p.m. without fail. This data is gold because it shows you exactly when to work and when to rest. Once you find your peak energy hours, protect them like a mother protects her baby. Do not schedule meetings, phone calls, or boring chores during your golden focus time. Turn off your phone, close your email, and put a sign on your door if needed. Your secret rhythm is a treasure, and the world will try to steal it from you daily. People will want your time during your best hours because that is when you shine. You must learn to say no politely but firmly to protect your creative energy. The people who matter will respect your boundaries once you explain them clearly. The people who do not respect them do not matter in your journey at all. Your secret rhythm also includes how you rest, not just how you work hard. Some people need 10 minutes of rest after every hour of focused work time. Other people need one full day off per week to feel fresh and excited again. Some people recharge by walking outside alone without any music or podcasts playing. Other people recharge by talking to a friend or playing with a pet for a while. Pay attention to what actually makes you feel better, not what should make you feel better. A 3-hour nap might be exactly what your creative brain needs to solve a problem. Ignore anyone who calls you lazy for resting in the way that fits your rhythm. The beautiful result of finding your secret rhythm is that work stops feeling like work. You stop fighting your body and start cooperating with your natural energy flows. Tasks that used to take 3 hours might now take only 1 hour easily. You will feel less tired at the end of each day because you worked with your grain. The quality of your output will rise because you are working at your peak times. You will stop comparing yourself to early birds or night owls who are not you. Your secret rhythm will carry you further than any amount of grinding against your nature. Find your beat, dance to it daily, and watch how far you go without burning out. Chapter 12. The first small clap and why it might scare you. After weeks or months of working in silence, something unexpected will finally happen. Someone will notice your work and offer a small clap of encouragement your way. It might be a single comment, a short email, or a friend saying, "That was good." Your heart will jump because finally, after so long, someone saw your effort at last. But here is the strange truth that nobody warns you about ahead of time. That first small clap might actually scare you more than the silence ever did. You might feel pressure, fear, or a sudden urge to hide your work completely. This chapter explains why applause can feel scary and how to handle it well. The fear comes from a sudden shift in how you see your own work now. When nobody was watching, you could fail privately without anyone judging you at all. You could make messy, weird, or unfinished things without feeling embarrassed about them. But now that someone is clapping, you feel like you must keep impressing them forever. Your brain starts worrying, what if I cannot do it again as well? This is called the pressure of performance, and it has killed many dreams before. The silence was a safe blanket, and the first clap rips that blanket away from you. Feeling scared does not mean you are weak. It means you care about doing well. One way to handle this fear is to thank the person without changing your work style. Say, "Thank you. I am glad you enjoyed what I am making right now." Then go back to working exactly the way you worked before the clap came. Do not start trying to please them, impress them, or chase their approval for more. Do not change your voice, your style, or your rhythm just because one person noticed you. The clap is feedback, not a command telling you to perform like a trained monkey. You were doing fine before the clap, and you will continue doing fine after it. Let the clap be a nice sound that passes by without changing your direction at all. Another common fear is that the first clap will be the last clap you ever receive. You might worry that you used up your one moment of attention forever now. This fear comes from scarcity thinking that says good things are rare and limited. But the truth is that one clap often leads to more claps over time naturally. Each person who notices you might tell one other person about your work slowly. Your job is not to chase more claps, but to keep making solid work daily. The quality of your work will attract the right claps at the right time always. Trust the process and stop counting how many hands are hitting together right now. You might also feel afraid that the clap means you are no longer an underdog. Being an underdog feels safe because nobody expects much from you at all. You can surprise people, but you cannot disappoint them when they expect nothing. Now that someone clapped, they might expect more, and that feels heavy to carry. But remember that you are not responsible for anyone else's expectations of you. You are only responsible for showing up and doing your honest best each day. Some days your best will be amazing, and some days it will be just okay. Real fans will clap for the effort, not just for the perfect results every time. The best way to handle the first small clap is to stay curious instead of scared. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this person's reaction to my work? Maybe they noticed a specific part that you did not even think was special. Maybe they connected with a feeling that you thought nobody would understand at all. Use their clap as data, not as a drug that you now need to survive. Keep the joy of the clap without becoming addicted to needing more claps soon. You survived the silence, and you can survive the applause just as well too. Stay grounded, stay working, and let the claps come and go like weather changes. Your path remains the same no matter how many or how few people clap for you. Chapter 13. Keep going even after they clap. There's a hidden danger that arrives right when you finally get some attention. The applause comes, the crowd grows, and everyone wants to know who you are now. You feel happy, excited, and maybe even a little bit famous for a short while. But then something strange happens that can ruin everything you built so far. You start to slow down because the hunger that drove you is now gone completely. You think, I made it, so I can rest now, and your foot leaves the gas pedal. This is when many talented people fall apart and disappear as fast as they arrived. This chapter teaches you how to keep going even after the claps finally come your way. The first rule after applause arrives is to remember why you started in the first place. You did not begin this journey because you wanted a crowd to clap for you. You began because something inside you needed to be created, built, or expressed fully. That inner fire must stay alive whether the room is empty or completely full. Applause is a dessert, but your inner fire is the main meal that feeds your soul. Do not let dessert become your only reason for cooking every single day. Write down your original reason for starting and tape it to your wall now. Read it every morning to remind yourself that claps were never the real point at all. Another danger is that applause can make you afraid to take risks anymore. You found something that people like, so you might just repeat that same thing forever. You stop experimenting, stop failing, and stop growing because you want to keep the claps. But art that never changes dies, and work that never grows becomes boring quickly. The same people who clap today will yawn tomorrow if you never try anything new. You must be willing to lose some claps in order to find your next level. The courage to risk applause is harder than the courage to face silence completely. But that courage is what separates legends from people who had one lucky moment. One practical trick is to keep a before they clap journal that you continue writing daily. In this journal, you write as if nobody is watching your work at all anymore. You write the messy, honest, and weird ideas that you would never post publicly. This journal becomes your safe space where applause does not exist or matter at all. You can fail on these pages without anyone seeing or judging your attempts. This practice keeps your creative soul alive even when the outside world is clapping. You remember that you are an artist, not just a performer who needs an audience. Your journal does not care about claps, and neither should your deepest self. You must also watch out for people who only appeared after the applause started. Some of your new fans will disappear the moment you have a quiet week. They were clapping for your success, not for your struggle or your growth at all. Do not build your happiness on the foundation of people who leave easily. Keep your circle small and keep your true friends close to your heart. The people who believed in you before the claps are worth more than gold. Thank the new fans, but do not let their attention change who you are inside. Stay humble, stay hungry, and stay connected to the quiet fighter who started this journey. The ultimate secret is to treat applause like a visitor, not like a new owner of your life. Let the claps come in, enjoy them fully, and then watch them leave your door. Do not let them move into your house and tell you how to live from now on. Your work belongs to you, and your direction belongs to your own inner voice. Applause can guide you, but it should never drive you toward a destination you did not choose. Keep going the same way you did when the room was empty and cold. That version of you is the real hero of this story, not the person being clapped at. Stay that person forever, and you will never lose your way no matter how loud the room gets. Chapter 14. Building a life that doesn't need a stage. The highest level of this journey is not fame, money, or millions of people clapping. The highest level is building a life that feels good even when you are completely alone. A life where you wake up excited to work, because the work itself brings you joy. A life where applause is nice, but never necessary for your happiness or peace. This chapter is about reaching that stage where you no longer need a stage at all. You become a person who creates because creating is how you breathe and live. The applause becomes a bonus, not the fuel that keeps your engine running smoothly. This is freedom, and it is available to you right now without anyone's permission. Building a life without needing a stage starts with separating your worth from your output. You are not a better person because you made something popular today. You are not a worse person because your last project was ignored by everyone completely. Your worth as a human being comes from your heart, not your productivity at all. You can be valuable while resting, valuable while failing, and valuable while learning slowly. This truth sounds simple, but most people never truly believe it deep inside. You must practice saying, "I'm enough even when nobody claps for me." Say this until your brain finally accepts it as the truth that it is. One way to build this life is to create non-negotiable joy practices in your daily routine. Find 3 small activities that bring you joy that have nothing to do with applause. It could be making tea, stretching your body, or calling an old friend to chat. It could be walking outside, cooking a meal, or petting an animal for 10 minutes. These activities remind you that life is good even when your work is not winning. You are a whole person with many parts, not just a machine that produces things. Nourish all those parts, and you will not need applause to feel complete at all. Your joy becomes internal, and internal joy is the only kind that never runs away. Another practice is to schedule regular, empty room days, even after you have fans. Pick one day each month where you create something and show absolutely no one. Write a poem and burn it, paint a picture and hide it, sing a song alone. On this day, you are the only audience that will ever experience your creation. This practice keeps your creative spirit wild and free from performing for others. You remember that making things is fun, not just a job that pays you attention. The child who drew for fun is still inside you, waiting to play without rules. Give that child one day each month and watch your love for work grow stronger. You must also learn to enjoy quiet weekends where nobody knows your name at all. Turn off notifications, do not check your stats, and do not post anything new online. Let yourself be a normal person who eats breakfast and watches clouds move slowly. Remember that fame is a tool, not a trophy that proves you are finally valuable. You can put the tool down and still be a wonderful human being completely. The world will not end if you take a break from being seen by others. In fact, taking breaks will make your work better when you return to it. Rest is not laziness. Rest is how you recharge the engine that creates everything. The final truth is that stages are temporary, but your life is the main event always. A stage is a small wooden box that you stand on for a short amount of time. The lights will turn off, the crowd will go home, and you will walk away alone. What remains is the person you became during the journey of creating your work. That person is stronger, wiser, and more loving than before you started trying. That person does not need applause to feel proud of what they built slowly. That person can sit in a silent room and feel completely at peace inside. Build your life around that person, and you will never need a stage again. The whole world becomes your stage, but you will be fine even when it is empty. Chapter 15. Your turn to clap for someone else. You have spent this entire book learning how to keep going without applause from others. You have built strength, found your rhythm, and learned to cheer for yourself loudly. But now it is time for the final and most beautiful lesson of all. You must turn around and become the clap that someone else is waiting to hear. Somewhere out there is a person working in silence just like you used to do. They are tired, they are doubting, and they are one more silent day from quitting forever. Your small clap could be the reason they take one more step forward today. This chapter teaches you how to give away the gift you fought so hard to earn. Becoming a clap for someone else does not require money, fame, or any special power. It only requires that you notice people who are working hard without any attention yet. Leave a kind comment on a post that has 0 comments from anyone else at all. Send a short message to a friend who is learning a new skill that looks hard. Tell a coworker, "I see how hard you are trying, and I respect your effort today." These small actions cost you nothing but could mean everything to someone else. You know how much the silence hurts because you lived inside that silence yourself. So be the person who ends someone else's silence with a small and honest clap. One powerful way to clap for others is to become a silence breaker on purpose every week. Find 3 people who are creating things but have no visible applause anywhere. It could be a new blogger, a young artist, or someone learning to play guitar badly. Leave them one genuine sentence of encouragement that is not fake or polite only. Say, "I see you showing up," and that is more than half the battle already won. Do not expect anything back, not a follow, not a thank you, not anything at all. Give your clap like a gift that asks for nothing in return from the receiver. This practice will fill your heart more than any applause you have ever received yourself. Clapping for others also protects you from becoming bitter or jealous of their success. When you celebrate others, you train your brain to see abundance instead of scarcity. You realize that someone else's claps do not take away from your own future claps. The world has room for many people to succeed, not just one winner at a time. Your generous spirit will attract generous people who want to clap for you too. Bitterness closes doors, but kindness opens doors that you did not even know existed. So be the first to clap for someone else, especially when nobody else is clapping yet. Your clap might be the spark that starts a fire in their quiet heart. Another benefit is that clapping for others teaches you to spot quality without jealousy. You become a better judge of good work because you are not competing with everyone. You see the effort behind the result because you have lived that effort yourself daily. This skill makes you a better creator because you learn from others openly. You can ask, "What did they do well that I could learn from today?" instead of feeling threatened. The best athletes learn from each other, and the best creators support each other loudly. Drop the idea that life is a competition where only one person can win it all. Life is a garden where flowers help each other grow by sharing sunlight and rain. The deepest reward of clapping for others is that you become part of a new silent crowd. A crowd of people who refuse to let anyone work in complete darkness anymore. You join a movement of quiet supporters who build each other up without expecting claps back. This crowd is small, but it is mighty, and it will outlast any fair-weather audience. When you fall, someone in this crowd will clap for you to get back up again. When you succeed, you will clap for someone else who is just starting their journey. This cycle of quiet support is how humans were meant to grow and create together. So go out today and be the clap you once needed the most. Your hands hitting together might save a dream that will one day save the world. Conclusion. You made it to the end of this book, and that alone proves you have a quiet fighter inside. You have learned that silence is not a rejection but a training ground for your spirit. You have discovered how to become your own fan, your own coach, and your own loudest clap. The journey ahead will still have empty rooms, doubtful friends, and days when quitting sounds lovely. But now you have tools, tricks, and truths that will carry you through those hard moments. You know about the 5-minute comeback, the mirror test, and the power of tiny sparks. You understand that applause is a visitor, but your inner fire is a permanent resident. You are ready to keep going whether the room claps or remains completely silent forever. So here is my final request to you as you close this book today. Put your hand on your chest and feel your heartbeat one more time. That heartbeat is the original clap that started the moment you were born into this world. It has never stopped, and it has never waited for permission to keep going strongly. Your dreams deserve the same loyalty that your heart gives to your body every second. Do not let the silence fool you into thinking you are walking the wrong path. You are exactly where you need to be, and you are moving exactly as fast as you should. Keep going when nobody claps, but also keep going when everybody claps wildly. And one day, turn around and clap for someone else who is walking alone. That is how we change the world, one quiet step and one kind clap at a time. Now go start your next silent step, because your journey has only just begun today.